Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Friday Freedom. It's Judy here from the Tribe of Traders. I trust you're winding down now, ready for Christmas. This will be the last one we do until the new year, 2020. As you know, we have done a lot of lives, a lot of discussion around beliefs over the past couple of weeks. Still another couple of weeks left in the month. So today I want to talk about something that's really important, and the more you actually address and understand the beliefs that you have about anything, the more you will be able to do this, and the more effectively, I should rather say, you'll be able to do this. And that is anything that you do around wealth building or trading, you'd be wise to do it in a state of coherence. And that's what I want to focus on today is coherence. What is coherence? And that is when your mind, your brain works in unison with your heart. Okay, that is what it essentially means. So I'm going to put it a different way, and the way in which I love to see it, and that is marry your outer technology with your inner technology. So your outer technology is your brain. It's what you see. It's what you logically see. It's what you logically interact with. It's what you logically will, like, for example, see opportunities in the market or anything around wealth building, any activity you do around wealth building, right? That's the outer technology. Now, obviously, the more power, your outer technology will be way more powerful when you understand what your beliefs are around anything, okay? And the more you have beliefs about something, the more judgment is attached to it, the more meaning is attached to it, the more polarized you're going to be in your head state, okay? So that is why it's very important to know what the beliefs are that you have about something in order to be able to balance that belief, balance that perception, balance that polarization. And the more you balance that polarization, the more then you can marry that outer technology with the inner technology of your heart center. Because in your heart center, there is no judgment. It is what it is. There's no judgment. There's no good. There's no bad. There's no meaning applied to anything. There is just the truth. There is just love. There's unconditional love in the heart center. That's your inner technology. So how I suggest, or this is how I think about it in my head when I'm doing anything, is I'm marrying my outer technology with my inner technology. So I perceive with my head and act with my heart. So if I'm looking at a chart, for example, and it happened on Monday with Kiwi Swiss. Looking at a chart, it's trending nicely. It actually is a setup for one of our strategies, Pogo. Was it Pogo? Yes, it was. It was Pogo. And it looks like a really good setup. It's been trending nicely. It's been going for about a couple of weeks now. And there's been good opportunities along the way. There was no logical reason for me not to want to take that again. My head was seeing the setup. My outer technology was interacting with the information that I was being given by the market. I was seeing that there was a setup. But then what I always do whenever I'm doing anything like trading is I'm always in a state of coherence, right? So heart's connected with my heart center. So whilst I perceive from my outer technology, with my brain, with my head, with my eyes, I can see, but then I feel into it, and I feel that it's not right. There's something that I can't necessarily put my finger on, and the more you are coherent in that state of coherence, the more you are actually okay with not knowing why you're not married to it, you don't like it, you don't want it, it's not the best, it's not to your greatest advantage should you proceed with this act, i.e. taking that particular trade. Okay, the more you are in coherence, the less you want to know why, the less you need to know why, It is just what you follow. And this is what I often mean when I say that the more in life you are in a state of coherence, or more in which in life you are heart-centered, I often say this, the less you will find you need to make decisions, because you will just intuitively know what needs to be done. And in practical sense, what you're actually doing is you're marrying your outer technology with your inner technology. So that what you see outside, right, perceived through your brain, perceived through your head, through your eyes, okay, and the more in which you can see that without judgment, without limiting beliefs, without applying a specific meaning to it, just seeing it for what it is, and then connecting with the heart center and feeling. That's your state of coherence, and that's when you know what to do, rather than having to make a decision. Must I take it? Should I take it? Ought I take it? Must I take it? That trade. Anytime you're using any language like that, should, ought, must, anytime you're using anything like any language like that, that needs to be an alarm bell for you that you're not in a coherent state, because you're not being guided by that heart-centered state. Your heart is way more powerful than your brain. Your brain perceives perfectly and beautifully the outer technology, but be guided by the inner technology of the heart center. That is why when I felt in, I actually was doing for our trading club, I was doing the watch list on Monday. We came to Kiwi Swiss, good setup. People had been making good money on it over the past couple of weeks. There was, for our two strategies, Bugsy and Pogo, and there was absolutely no reason, no logical reason why not to take it. That was my outer technology. But when I went to when I went to feel into it, what the outcome was, a decision not to take it, or the act of not to take it, I felt that it was not right, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And I said that in the live stream I had with clients, that I'm not comfortable with it. It's not working for me, but I can't put my finger on it. And sure enough, had I taken that particular trade, it would have lost. And I think that was just a really good example of how you marry your outer technology with your inner technology, and the wisdom in being in a state of coherence when you're trading. It's very, very important. There is nothing more powerful than somebody who is in a coherent state. And the more in which you live life in that coherent state, the more powerful you will live, the more you will unlock the fullest expression of your potential, the more you will live to the fullest expression of your potential. It is the most powerful state to live in. And the reason why, one of the important concepts about money and building wealth is that it's nothing but the physical manifestation of spirit. The greater your spirit, the greater your state of coherence, the greater the self-worth you will have, and the greater the net worth you will have. But the issue is that what will block that state of coherence is the outer technology. When you are locked down, I like to call it, when you're locked down with limiting beliefs, or when you apply meaning or judgment to things, whether they be in the past, the present, or future imagined, it doesn't matter. Whenever you apply a meaning or a judgment to something, you are actually locking down part of your own potential, and you are locking down part of your self-worth. Everything is as it is, all right? And there's no need to apply a polarized judgment. It is what it is. How does it serve you? How do you work with it? What can you do with it? Use your outer technology to process that, and then marry that with your inner technology of your heart center, and feel into it and be guided by your heart. Does that make sense? So I want to really, 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 this is like, in a way, the end result of that you will experience And the more in which you are in that coherent state, not just with trading, but in everything you do in life, the more powerfully you step in to the full extent of who you are. There you step into a limitless version of yourself. It's like money, more money you have just simply makes you more of who you already are. The more in which you are coherent makes you more of who you already are. That's the beauty of it. That's the perfection of it. Marry your outer technology with your inner technology, and do that when you're trading, when you're working, in your relationships, when you're doing absolutely anything. One of the ways that helps you get into that state is actually taking some time out, meditating, deep breathing, gratitude. There's so many different ways in which you can actually get into that state. And the more in which you are consciously, initially when it's, if you're not used to it, the more in which you consciously put yourself into that state. And if you're battling, just take a few deep breaths into your solar plexus. Connect in with your heart. And you can do it in front of your desk. Nobody needs to know. It's not like you have to go and sit in like a Buddha pose and meditate. It's not, you don't have to do that. You can sit at your desk. You could be on a bus. You can be on a train. You can be in a car. You can be doing absolutely anything. That's just by taking a few deep breaths, connecting down into your solar plexus, feeling into your heart, allowing that connection between your head and your heart to happen, allowing that open pathway to happen. It's just consciously being aware of it. And the more you do that each and every day, the more of a habit it becomes, and the more in which that's the state that you will be living in. But above all else, I really, really do urge that whenever you are actually trading, or whenever you are involved in any form of wealth building, that you actually consciously do that. You consciously make sure, consciously check in with yourself that you are actually in a coherent state. Coherence is the single most powerful result of ensuring, of being and ensuring, and it's like a notice to yourself that you are actually not tending to be polarized. The more in which you're polarized, when you're polarized about something, it means you're applying a meaning to something, it means you're judging something. So therefore, what you are judging, you are repelling in yourself. That's the only reason we judge. When we judge something or when we judge someone, we are repelling something in ourselves. And the more that you judge, the more you repel in yourself, you're lowering your self-worth. And the more you lower your self-worth, you're lowering your net worth. Okay, so you don't want to be doing that. Remember, marry your outer technology with your inner technology. But in order to do that, you need to make sure that you are balancing out and dealing with any judgments you're carrying about whatever it is that you're doing. What are the judgments you have about yourself and wealth building? What are the judgments you have about trading? What are the judgments you have about the charts, about markets, about the strategy, about your ability to work with that strategy you're trading? Okay, so be clear about that. Balance those judgments, because when you put a judgment on something, you're resisting something in yourself. And the more you're resisting something in yourself, the more you are dropping your self-worth, and the lower sort of vibrational state you will be in. That's when you start going down into the levels of scarcity and lack, in fear, shame, guilt, regret. In that zone, it's impossible to build wealth. It's impossible to be successful in trading. But when you start seeing the perfection, when you start seeing the balance in absolutely everything, opening your mind to the possibility that if you were judging something as bad or good, there is equally the other side as well. Opening your mind to limitless possibilities and then feeling in with your heart and connecting in with your heart. And that's when you start becoming in a state of coherence. And that's when you start being guided by something outside of yourself. Okay, you might want to call it the universe. You might want to call it God. You might want to call it spirit. It doesn't matter what we call it. If the effect is the same, we're guided by something outside of ourselves. And that is there is tremendous wisdom in actually acting on that. And that is where you actually no longer need to make decisions. You do not stress over decisions. Should I take that trade? Shouldn't I take that trade? As you'll no longer need confirmation of the decision you need to make, like using many different indicators, for example. You no longer need to get confluence by using lots of different indicators in your trading, for example. You won't need that at all. All you need is the guidance from being in a coherent state and to follow through with that. The result is you don't need to know the how, you don't need to know the why, you just need to be in that coherent state and be guided by something that's greater than you. When you know what your why is, when you're very clear about what your vision is, being in a coherent state, you are friggin' unstoppable. You are unstoppable. You will then have the phenomenal wealth that you need to live out your life purpose. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind. I have seen it time and time again that you have the ability to create the wealth that you need to live out your life purpose. And the way in which you're going to do that is through coherence, marrying your outer technology with your inner technology. You deserve it. You deserve the freedom that wealth brings. And you deserve to allow yourself that freedom to bring in that wealth into your life. So make the decision now, you've got a couple of weeks left, that to deal with any of the polarized concepts you have, any of the polarized judgments you have, any of the limiting beliefs that you have that are leading to sabotaging behavior. Now's the time to deal with them. Now's the time to drop them and free yourself for a powerful, powerful, successful 2020. Okay, have a wonderful Christmas time, guys. I will catch you on the other side at the beginning of January. And I wish you and your family a truly amazing, peaceful, loving time. Take care. Bye-bye.